So, hey everyone, my name is Angelica, yo soy panameña. So I totally, like when they were talking about being the daughter of an immigrant, I was like, right here,
That's me.
like, yes. So a little bit about my background. My father is actually Jamaican and Barbadian, and his family immigrated to Panama during the building of the canal. He was born in Panama, and then he immigrated to the US and joined the Army. My mother is a descendant of slaves, and we have some indigenous roots in our family as well. And of course, my dad is also a descendant of slaves. So, and they met in the Army. So like I bring all of that, and I'm the oldest. I bring all of that to the table when we're talking about money and building businesses. And I keep having this conversation with my husband. We are the first self-employed people in our family. And that's huge when like we're still kind of unraveling that reality that we are not beholden to a 9 to 5. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like we are breaking the generational curses. We are breaking those generational lines and opening up opportunities for real wealth legacy. My parents have done well, especially considering they were in the Army, and they were enlisted. They were not, they were NCOs, so they were not officers. So, when you think about that, and everyone that's here that's an entrepreneur, think about that. You might be the first one who's doing something that no one in your family has ever done. And with that, your trauma is going to come up. Nicole's talking about mindset, but if you don't fix the trauma, that mindset work it's like putting lipstick on a pig or putting perfume on caca. You got to deal with, seriously, you got to deal with the trauma of whatever your story is. Sometimes we just have the epigenetic trauma that's in our DNA. So like how we're all talking about our, being immigrants, that stuff is in our DNA. It gets passed on up to 6 generations. Think about that. And so if you are a person of color, think about 6 generations behind you, what was happening. My folks were enslaved. So that stuff's in our DNA, y'all. And so we have to deal with that when we're looking at our money. And I came to Nicole because I was backed up 2 years on my books, y'all. And I was, like the other speaker was saying, there was a lot of shame. In 2000, I think it was 19, I had hit 6 figures and didn't realize it. We were mid-year and I had hit 6 figures and didn't even know I had hit 6 figures. Like that was the goal. Oh, hit 6 figures. I didn't even know it because I wasn't looking at my books.
Yeah. Okay.
So I came to Nicole. It was at the end of 2022, this past year, and was like, help. And I bought her 5-minute bookkeeper. She was offering one-on-one. You got a one-on-one session if you paid in full. I paid in full because I was like, I need help. And Nicole was so, like, y'all right here, she's so calm. There was no, you're doing something wrong, or there was no shaming. It was just like, it's fine. We'll fix it. Let me show you how to use the software. And I was holding back tears because I thought this was going to be the most embarrassing moment of my life, but it wasn't. And in the work that I do, I didn't even say that. The work that I do, I show women how to build online ministries. Because if you're in a faith space, particularly the Christian space, you'll know that number one, women don't get positions in the church. And when they do get positions, they are paid, especially if they get like an executive pastor position, they are typically paid 50% less than their male colleagues. And they have more education and oftentimes more experience. So what I do is I show women how to build online ministry so they can step outside of the 4 walls of the church and actually make money. And it's so interesting that my books were jacked up. It's like
That's
like
okay.
for the course.
I tell people my background is accounting and I wasn't paying attention to my own books and I had to file bankruptcy. So there's no, and that is one of the reasons why when anybody comes to me, I absolutely have been in their shoes already. And I know what I did to get myself to where I am, and I know how to help them. So my goal is to help you. My goal is not to shame you, because I know exactly, what I needed to do, and I didn't do it as well. So
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. I want to say this about Nicole's tool. So this is for my faith folks out there. Her tool is like this. It's 5 Minute Bookkeeper is this anointed tool for accountability. It's simple, but there's just this anointing on it that you open it up and you're like, oh, it's like the heavens open. And you literally in 5 minutes can, get your books together. I was able to, I think it took me, I committed to, it was like 30 minutes a day. I was able to get, and I think I did it in like 5 days. I got all of my 2020 books caught up. So like in a week,
Love
30
that.
minutes a day, I got them all cut up. And it's 2 different bank accounts. So I was pulling stuff from 2 different bank accounts, pulling it inside of there. I did find my previous year's books that were already done from my accountant that I haven't spoken to yet. But I found those. So I was able to file my taxes and get all of those things done. But her tool really is, it's an anointed tool for accountability, especially if you are working on this mindset stuff she's talking about and working on your own trauma, whether it's the epigenetic trauma, whether it's the trauma of you know that you've got some trauma or something out there that's either stopping you from making money or stopping you from keeping money. This tool will at least allow you to walk at a certain level of stewardship to say, okay, God, I'm putting my numbers in, I'm keeping up. I've got this while I work on all this other stuff, because you can't just pray your way to financial success.
Yeah.
Like prayer is one component, but you got to actually do the work. You got to put your numbers in. You have to look at it. And I'm preaching to the choir here because I'm a little backed up on some things, but I know that I've got this tool and the tool doesn't scare me. QuickBooks scares me, y'all. It's insane. And I'm not afraid of numbers, y'all. I have a bachelor's and master's in engineering. So numbers don't scare me. Tech doesn't scare me. But QuickBooks, it puts the fear of God in the depths of my soul. Okay. But
I
5 minute.
speak for like most of my clients who come to me, it's the same thing. And I love that the tool is not just, and I'm so happy that you mentioned that, because the tool is not just a tool like QuickBooks, right? And I try to tell people it's not like that. It's so much more. It's so the transformation from my clients, it's I have ADHD and this was the easiest numbers tool I've ever used, or I'm changing my mindset just by using your tool. So I didn't have to do like mindset work with them. You just started to use the tool, and your mind started to shift when it comes to numbers and money, because you did not think it could be simple or easy, right? And that is why I'm taking people to the next level, which I'm going to be announcing tomorrow, taking them to the next level where we are going to blow this out the water. If you're committed, right? If you follow what I say, if you use my tools, my teachings, my programs, it is going to explode your business. And how I know that? Because I have clients that I work with who are doing it. I'm doing it, right? And I just really want to help everybody to do this, right? I really want to get the word out. So thank you so, so much, Angelica, for joining.
My pleasure.